How you going? I am bloody sick of the police coming round to my house because apparently I've made something that slightly resembles a gun on this channel, and it's stressing me out. So I've told myself I'm never making one again unless someone gives me a lot of money.
And I'm having cameras issues again. Why? This is what happens when you're not using a capture card. Everything just crumbles. Sorry about that. Oh. Honkai Star Rail.
This video is brought to you by
police.
Honkai Star Rail, where they're paying me to make Fei Xiao's Gub-blade.
Hold on. What kind of cop are they? Like, he was there at the beginning.
How you going? I am bloody sick.
Yeah, okay, tight jeans, those pants. So, dude, what kind of cops are you asking for?
This video is brought to you by Honkai Star Rail, where they're paying me to make Fei Xiao's Gub-blade. Now take a look at this bloody sword. It's ridiculous. The blue, the crazy bevels, these spikes, the sword shoved down the barrel of a gun, but I have no idea how to make it. So I'm going to try and make it easy for myself and split the sword into 3 parts. The blade and then the gun handle thing, which will be 2 pieces that wrap around the blade. But unfortunately, it's not going to be a real gun. Because if Fei Xiao had that blade in Australia, they would get locked up for the rest of their life and also get a Daily Mail article written about them.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to start with the sword and stick everything on later. And if I was a real Japanese sword master guy, I would spend months hand making a perfect steel billet with a soft core for strength and a hard outer edge of high carbon steel for hardness, which I would then meticulously shape into a blade before I hang myself. But I don't really feel like doing that. So it's all going to be made out of 1 piece of steel because it's strong and most importantly, cheaper, because I have a feeling I'm going to screw something up. So I'm going to use this big piece of 1084 steel. And if you don't know why it's called that, I'm not going to tell you. Okay, I traced a rough sword outline onto it. And to keep this authentic, I'm going to cut it out with the same methods of Japanese samurai, a laser machine. And if you're following along at home, you may not have access to a laser machine like me, but a laser pointer zip tied to a grinder will also work. And a random Chinese company sent me this, and I don't know why they thought, hey, let's send the guy that barely knows how to weld, and is also likely on multiple watch lists, a laser powerful enough to blind his whole neighborhood.
Yeah, so we're back to what I remember from I Did a Thing. Constant fear for another man's safety.
But I'm glad they did. Alright, I don't know how to use this, and it's destroying the concrete behind what I'm cutting. So I'm going to figure it out another time and just use a grinder. And after 4 hours of grinding, I realized a problem. I cannot pick this sword up with one hand. And I have 2 options. The first and my favorite is roids, and the other is being lame and using 2 hands to pick it up. So I could just leave the bottom part unsharpened so I can put my other hand down there. Or I could do both. And I don't know what kind of juice the characters from Honkai Star Rail are on, but no normal human can pick this up with one hand. But I'll deal with that later. And now to clean it all up. And another problem with making the sword is the edges. It's like Honkai were trying to make it hard for specifically me to make. Like, what is this? What is that? What is this thing? And most importantly, what is that? How am I meant to make this? But it does look pretty cool. And it's pretty scary grinding in between the sharp spikes, as I feel like I'm going to catch the disc and it's going to explode. It also feels a little bit unethical, as I'm sure the metals felt safe back there. But I got it. Then I spent another 2 hours filing in every direction possible.
This madman.
Okay, now I have to deal with my hole. And Fei Xiao has a fairly small hole, and it comes to here on the gun, but I'm going to make their hole bigger to save some weight. And I've got a couple of options for the hole. The easiest would just be sticking a picture of the background on the front, as that involves minimal tool use. But I'm going to try just drilling a million holes and connecting them and milling it all down. which took a lot longer than just
Yeah.
milling the whole thing out. But in the process of milling, I must have struck a 2-for-1 deal on blades, and I got this sick bread cutter. She works really well. Okay, now I need to start work on the bevel. And to pretend I'm actually a blacksmith and make this video longer, I'm going to make the bevel on the anvil, which means I need a forge. And I have one, but it's not going to fit the sword. So I need to make another. So first I drilled holes in this pipe until I had enough to make the world's largest Peruvian flute.
Stupid. Oh god. What the fuck?
Then I got some bricks from the nearest construction site. And I'm going to use charcoal, as that gets real hot and will also fly everywhere and burn me. Now to be safe, I started with a test piece, as I have no idea if I can even make bevels.
The fact that this dude is still
And I'm going to
not
try
wearing
to compress the
shoes.
end without spreading
It's the
it
most
out too
impressive
much,
part
as
of
a
it
random
all.
bloke on the internet told me that's bad to do.
Yeah, you
And
don't
after doing
say.
some hitting for a couple of minutes, this is all I had done, which would take way too long. So I'm taking the sword back to grinder. Okay, I don't really know what I'm doing with the bevels, but I know that I just wanted to come down from this line on both sides and meet in the middle. So I kind of just started grinding. And it took me a while to figure out how to even do this. At first I was kind of randomly running it along, but then I discovered if I get my head really close to the grinding belt, you can see where it's contacting the blade. Then I realized I could set the rest angle I want and press the blade up from there. Which sounds easy, but the blade weighs around 10 kilos or 20 pounds. And after almost a full day of carefully grinding these bevels with minimal screw-ups, I'm pretty happy with it. And even
I thought that he was exaggerating the damn thing, but apparently not. He wasn't. 15 kilos. Dude.
managed to get the same bevel points that Fei Xiao's sword has. Now, before I harden the blade in the forge, I'm going to tell you more about the sponsor of this video, Honkai Star Rail. Honkai Star Rail is a space fantasy RPG from HoYoverse, the makers of Genshin Impact. The game has accumulated over 100 million downloads within a year since its release, and also won Best Mobile Game at the TGA, the Best Game for Google Play, and the Best Game for the App Store in 2023. As a trailblazer, explore different worlds across the universe and immerse yourself in an adventure filled with impeccable animations and music. It is a turn-based experience which is easy to play yet highly tactical, allowing you to conjure unique team lineups and strategies according to context such as enemies, environments, characters, and more. There are over 50 characters, including Fei Xiao, who is a new character of the game and is a master of all weapons and also seems to have copied my sword design. In the game, you'll search for treasure chests, solve puzzles, explore each NPC's stories, and uncover the secrets of the world. It is...
Wait. Hold on a minute. Did he say he?
Will search for treasure chests, solve weapons, characters, and more. There are over 50 characters, including Fei Xiao, who is a new character of the game and is a master of all weapons and also seems to have copied my sword design. In the game, you'll search for treasure...
Oh. The anime trap strikes again. God damn it. God fucking damn it. So I know Honkai Impact, right? And I've played that. And I know of a plethora of female swordsmen in the game, but yeah, okay. Yeah. Anime fans always.
Chests, solve puzzles, explore each NPC stories, and uncover the secrets of the world. It is seriously the most fun I've ever had while playing a video game, and it's available for free on PC, mobile, and PlayStation.
The king of fanboys or Stolfo is laughing somewhere.
And their Gun-blade using the link in the description. Alright, back to the hardening. And hardening is when you get the metal rod hot and aroused, and then you quickly dunk it in a liquid to cool it down, locking it in the hardened state. Now, there are fancy tools called Lieb hardness something, which press down onto the metal to see if it's quenched to an acceptable hardness. But an easy way to do it at home is with the bite test. And depending on how many teeth you break, that is usually a certain hardness, which also depends on calcium intake and your gum health. For example, with this piece of hardened steel, I broke 3 teeth, so I'm at a Rockwell hardness level of 86, which is good enough for a sword like this. So I put it in and cranked up the blower. And within 5 minutes, it got red hot, so I was ready for the quench.
Oh! I don't care how cold that water is. If it struck him on the chin, wherever, touch his skin. He's not even playing with fire, man. That's not even flirting with death. It took death to a dinner date and just fucked it raw. This is insane.
And I'm not happy, as the blade bent. Then when I tried applying a little bit of pressure to straighten it out...
Why is that f***ing cracked?
No.
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 It snapped,
Oh my
and
god.
a week's worth of blood, sweat, and hiring stripper cops were all wasted.
What an idiot. Did it for the content.
So I took Fei Xiao's sword to Corin, who has the biggest shed in Bowral. And then Corin recommended we take it to his mate's place, Keith Flutter, master bladesmith, who also has a great shed.
You did quite a nice job on the grinds, really.
Yeah.
These are actual professional.
It all up by jumping in my pool with it.
Oh, you jumped in with it?
I keep telling you more and more, yeah.
That's okay. Were you in the nude?
I wasn't in the mood.
Oh, okay.
I did consider it.
Do you have your apron?
And they told me I did 4 things wrong. Firstly, I heated up the blade lying down, which causes it to warp. And then I heated it up to red in sunlight, which meant the blade was actually way hotter than it should have been. And the grain structure in the metal got real weird and sandy. Thirdly, I shouldn't have quenched it in the pool, as the chemicals and salt ruined the blade, which might have been the reason for all the cracks. And lastly, I burnt my trees above the forge. I don't know how they knew that, but they are right. And with those 5 things in mind, they thought the blade would be impossible to fix, as we couldn't even weld it as the grain structure was real bad.
We're better off just profiling a new one, Keith.
I think.
Yeah.
So we decided to knock out a new one in record time.
Forget what I said. He's not the only one. Holy shit. These people are living dangerously. See, this is what Australia is perfect for its inhabitants, right? From the fauna to the flora and now the people themselves. Australia is built differently.
Then, once we had made the shape, it was time for Master Keith to put the bevels on it.
Come on, hurry up, Keith. Just slap some bevels on it. They can't be any worse than his work. Shut the fuck up.
Then it was time to do the heat quench the right way in a proper forge with a proper tank.
It's no swimming pool though. I'll tell you that.
It's not as
Non-salty water, thank you. Yeah, it's got to be nice though to have an actual forge master look at your work and go like,
But it wouldn't fit, so Corin and Keith
Not too
decided to heat it
shabby.
up with Oxy.
"Ugh,
In
get
2
that
hours together,
white
we
hot
made
flame."
a blade that took me a week to make. And these blokes saved my blade and the video. And Keith Flutter also does knife making courses, so you can come along and make a blade with him just like me. And while I was there, I was chatting to Corin about Fei Xiao's blue sword and how I could do that. And he told me he has the perfect thing, a laser, which he uses to put amazing coloured engravings on custom tools that he makes, like this center punch or this hammer, which magically straightens metal. And I don't know how this hammer works, and I don't want to know. And you probably think I could just do the colouring with the laser on the one I have at home, but no, I can't. So we set up at Corin's and started to work out the design. And because of the length of the sword, we won't be able to do it in one go, and we need to break it into bits. So we put the first part in and let the laser rip. And the laser works in a similar way to colouring a blade by heating it, as steel at a certain temperature changes colour, so you can do the same with a laser at a certain frequency, or so we thought. And the first part came out real nice and looks like a very similar blue to Fei Xiao's blade.
You telling me to pick it up because you're going to laser me and burn me?
But it didn't go smoothly on the other part, and we spent all day doing this.
I mean, the blue is
the
beautiful,
shifting.
but yeah, it definitely doesn't match. But that gold is exactly the same.
And eventually got a blue blade, which doesn't look exactly the same as Fei Xiao's blade,
I mean,
but
it
it's
gets pretty
similar.
close.
Alright, I'm nearly done now and just need to make the handle, which is the gun, but not a gun. And because I'm lazy, I'm going to 3D print them. And this was my first print, which took 12 hours, and I stupidly didn't measure it properly for the blade.
No,
and it's
wasted
also
resin.
not very strong. So I
And
printed
too
2
small.
more, which took me 48 hours, which for the Americans watching is 2 whole sleepy times. Then I stole Alexa's Warhammer paints and started painting.
Seriously. You still had the cops.
And now to glue it all together, using my second favourite 2-part epoxy, 69 epoxy. Second to rim job epoxy. And after cleaning up all the creamy bits, it was done. This giant, beautiful sword.
Wow. What's the bit with the
And
snail?
it is barely liftable with one hand. And after a quick sharpen, it was time to see how it compares to a regular sword. Okay, I've set up a forged in fire style gauntlet for Alexa and I. And first, we have the fish chop to test sharpness.
I think for the rules of this game, we get 1 swing each. So I'm going to try first, and then you're going to get a cut.
I don't want to be next to you while you
Where do you want to go? This is kind of scary.
behind the camera.
Yeah,
Ready?
perhaps.
3. What do I want to get? There.
Oh my god,
2,
stop.
1.
Oh, good
That
sword.
was nice.
You stabbed my back.
I'm sorry,
my leg
sorry.
with your sword.
Hi.
That's a clean cut.
Perfect.
Alexa, now it's your turn to cut the fish.
I'll see.
Let me get your fish.
Well, that's a look
Take a
at.
look at your fish.
What do you even find? What do you even? Is that a sardine?
You love sardines.
I do love it.
But
It
will
will
it kill? That's the right question. Apparently it can.
Sardine.
Do not throw the sword at me, please. Whenever you're ready. You,
Oh, slice of it off.
you samurai!
Okay, I was not expecting that to work.
That was beautiful. I was not expecting it to work either. That's why I gave you a stupid small fish.
Alright, next we have the hardness test with this rack of sweet baby Ray's ribs.
3, 2, 1.
Oh.
No way!
Amazing.
Well,
Where did it even go? Oh, there it is.
he broke the ribs. Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna miss this and just slice my own foot off. What if I do it?
Slice
What if I do it like that?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
A bit more force, maybe.
My sword sucks. I did nothing. I didn't even get it off the rope.
You're saying you want to eat this?
You wash it with water.
Yeah, well, that's actually going to be delicious.
It's gonna be great.
And then finally, after we potentially ruined the edge, it was time for the water test, which every man with a sword is obsessed with doing.
Of course.
Alexa, after your last results, I've got high hopes. Whenever you're ready.
We've all done this with us. The katana.
Oh, yeah, that felt good.
Whoa!
To see.
Wait, I don't understand. How did it go up and then up?
I smell like beer now. This is great.
Wait, how does that make any sense? That's actually impossible what you did just did, Alexa. One.
Oh,
I got beer in my eye.
wait, what even happened?
Who do you think won that? Yours were definitely cleaner.
Yeah, my thing stayed pretty much in the same position.
Yeah.
But is that? I don't even. We didn't really set the parameters for the test before we did it. We just
No.
wanted to hit the bottle.
You know what? Do you want to just call it a draw?
Sure.
It's a real sword.
It's a
though.
good sword.
It's a
Yeah.
good sword.
It
Thank you to Honkai
kills.
Star Rail for sponsoring this video and allowing me to make this sword. So go download Honkai in the description below. And also big thanks to Keith and Corin for helping me out. Thank you so much for watching. If you like that, please subscribe and check out some of my other videos.
Oh yeah, that was good. What a waste of beer. I don't even know what brand was that, so that I can trash talk on it for a little bit.
And then up.
I smell like beer now. This is great.
I can't tell. Well, considering that the brand might be Australian, I suppose that is still rather strong. Yeah, but this dude's insane. At least the video did not end up in him getting severely injured.